To come back to all this on the big, beautiful bill. But before we move on and just get a little bit of a different perspective on this meeting with the South African president that we were talking about, we have a journalist joining us now, Nhlanhla Sehume, who is live from South Africa. Welcome. The reason I wanted to get, because we Americanize every subject, which, you know, I'm sure you do in your country as well. You get the one perspective. What about over there, that back and forth in the Oval Office, as I brought up, the issues with crime in South Africa versus the role that race plays in those crimes. How is it being seen in your country?
I'll do you one better. I'll actually give you some insight into what some local media houses are reporting or describing that press conference that took place in the Oval Office a short while ago, or earlier on this afternoon, South African time. The meeting being described between President Cyril Ramaphosa and President Donald Trump, being described here as being uncomfortable, even confrontational at times, but it was a necessary meeting. And I'll take the remarks of, or the final remarks made by President Trump in the Oval Office, where he highlighted that the intervention of his administration is one that seeks to save lives. But I guess the point here in South Africa, or the resounding message that's being driven by the high-power South African delegation being led by President Cyril Ramaphosa, is one that seeks to dispel lies, really, from what's being described by President Ramaphosa, lies being peddled and sitting on the table of the leader of the U.S., that is Donald Trump. So his really is to mend ties between the two nations and also open dialogue to really explain to the U.S. president what the reality is here in South Africa. And the resounding message is one that is quite clear, that says that South Africa does have a serious and general crime problem, one that is not just affecting a certain portion of the population, but a problem that is affecting everybody in this country, the general problem of crime, not just rural crime.
Do you think that message was received?
I think, judging by the general response from those watching this side of the world, it would seem that we did pick up that President Trump seemed a bit skeptic about the information that he was receiving. But we did send a team that also includes businessmen. I'll mention, for instance, Remgro boss, that's Johan Rupert, a billionaire businessman here in South Africa who was part of President Cyril Ramaphosa's team to send South Africa's message. You mentioned the Big Easy, that's Ernie Els, a golf player as well. Many know that President Donald Trump loves his golf, as well as Retief Goosen. But also you had a delegation that was also made up of ministers in South Africa's cabinet, including the International Relations Minister, Ronald Lamola, but also very interestingly, the labor movement here in the country also being represented. The biggest labor federation, COSATU, also having the president giving remarks that basically confirm what is being said here. That South Africa, yes, does have a problem of crime, and that's what needs to be tackled.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.